All right, welcome back. Home Minister Amit Shah is expected to reach Pahalgam around 8 p.m. and Chief Minister Omar Abdullah is also expected to reach Pahalgam around 2:30 p.m. today at a tourist spot near Pahalgam. 4 terrorists wearing masks attacked a group of locals. One of the women whose husband had been shot said that the terrorists attacked her husband for being a Hindu. Well, this is a major attack on tourists in Jammu and Kashmir, and 2 people have died in the process. Operations have started around Pahalgam after a high-level meeting involving NSA, CRPF, DG and MHA officials got together. Joining us at this point in time is Major General G.G. Dwivedi, Global Strategic and Defence Expert. Mr. Pathikrit Pine, Geopolitical and Foreign Affairs Expert, also joins us. Mr. Harinder Sikka, author and activist. But before that, I'm going to cut across to my colleague Ashik Mir, who's joining us on the broadcast. He's at the hospital where a number of injured people are admitted at this point in time. Ashik, if you can tell us what's the situation right now and what is the number, if you can please verify that for us.
Well, absolutely, Vineet. We are outside the GMC hostel in Anantnag. As you can see, the huge rush outside the GMC. All the officials have reached here. And I have been joined by tourist police who were present at the location. आप मुझे बताइए क्या देखा आपने जब ये अटैक हुआ, आप वहीं पर मौजूद थे, क्या कुछ सुना आपने, और ये बताइए हमारी।
हम 2:40 से बिग मिडो से बाहर निकले हैं मुइज़र सुलैज़ से मुंह धोने के लिए। हमने सोचा हम नमाज पढ़ेंगे। जो ही हम पानी पर पहुंचे हैं तो वज़ू किया, तो फिर हमने जब नमाज शुरू किया तो पीछे से 2 फायर हो गए हैं। यही 2:50 का समय था। तो फिर हमने 2 फायर लोग हमने भी नमाज काटी, हमने भी नमाज नहीं पढ़ा। हमने देखा तो 2 फायर लोग जमा हो गए, फिर अंधाधुंध फायरिंग हो गई कम से कम 10 मिनट में।
10 मिनट तक फायरिंग चलती रही। तो ये जहां पर ये अटैक हुआ, इस एरिया के बारे में बताइए। ये एरिया कहां पे है, एग्जैक्ट लोकेशन और आसपास के इलाके की बात।
एक्चुअली पहलगाम में ये 3 किलोमीटर दूर है, पहाड़ी में वाक़ है ये, घने जंगलों में, जिसको मनी स्विट्ज़रलैंड नाम से जाना जाता है। बाइसरन हम कहते हैं उसको। तो अचानक हमको लगा कि पटाखे हो रहे हैं, तो जब शोर शराबा हुआ तो वहाँ पे देखा तो फायरिंग चल रही थी। तो वहाँ धुआं ही धुआं, अंधाधुंध फायरिंग हुई है। फिर पता नहीं चला कि क्या है, क्या हुआ वहाँ पे। तो फिर हमने देखा ऐसे ही कुछ इंजर्ड पड़े हुए थे, तो उनको वहाँ पे जो घोड़े वाले हैं उन्होंने बहुत हेल्प किया है, और जो वहाँ पे शॉपकीपर्स है तो फिर उनको घोड़ों पे लेके गए और कुछ कंधों पे उठाए तो सीधे हॉस्पिटल की तरफ लेके गए, और इन्फॉर्मेशन दी हाई डिपार्टमेंट को।
कितने लोग आपने देखे घायल जो वहाँ पर पड़े हुए थे, कितने लोगों को?
जी सर, मैं वो तादाद नहीं करूँगा कि कितने थे, तो लगभग 5-6 तो मैंने अपने आंखों से देखे ज़ख्मी हुए थे, और 1-2 डेड बॉडी भी वहाँ पे देखी पड़ी हुई थी।
So you can see the Vineet, he's the police tourist officer. He's there deployed. He has seen once he has seen through firing shots, and then there were surrounding of people, tourists who came together, and then the indiscriminately firing was done by the terrorists. As you can see here. You can see the huge rush behind this hospital, and the people are reaching here. All officials are reaching here, and the meadows where this attack has taken place, there is a search operation launched by the security forces and to nab the terrorists. This is the forest area where this attack has taken place. Almost 20 plus injured have been so far. This is the figure what we are getting so far. The GMC Anantnag has received 4 injured and 1 dead body so far, and the operation in this forest area has been launched by security forces, and Home Minister Amit Shah is arriving here also. Chief Minister Omar Abdullah is also arriving the spot.
Ashik, also take us through as to what the agencies are doing at this point in time in terms of combing the area, making sure that these terrorists are apprehended and neutralized before they damage more life and property.
Exactly, Vineet. We can see, we have seen attacks in Jammu forest areas, and this is the same area. The forest is surrounding, and these terrorists were hiding in a forest area. This is the dense forest area where this attack has taken place, and the tourist has reached there by foot. This is almost 3 kilometers away from the Pahalgam, and this is the meadows area where tourists were going there, and they were enjoying that meadows beauty of that place. But the terrorists who were hiding in the forest, dense forest areas, have indiscriminately firing on these tourists. And the big thing on this attack is that you can see some more injured have been brought here. And the big thing what we have learned in this attack, that they were asked their religion first. They were asked, are you Hindu, are you Muslim? Then they have fired upon them, and so far this casualty may rise. So far we have got the information that 20 plus are injured in this, and most of them are tourists who were targeted in this Kawadik act. And so far what we are getting, one casualty have been, they have been told us that one has come their injuries. We have joined by some people here. आप मुझे बताइए ये जो अटैक हुआ है कैसे देखते हैं इस अटैक को, क्योंकि इस तरह का अटैक पहली बार हुआ है और वो भी टूरिस्टों पर, इस तरह का अटैक जहाँ पर कैजुअलिटी जो है काफ़ी ज़्यादा बढ़ भी सकती है।
देखिए, ये पाकिस्तान हर हालत में नहीं चाहता कि कश्मीर में अमन हो। यहाँ अभी 5-6 सालों से यहाँ पे बिल्कुल अच्छी तरीके से यहाँ पे हर कोई रोज़गार कमाता था, टूरिज़्म बढ़ रहा था, हर कोई तबका अच्छी तरीके से काम कर रहा है, लेकिन हर हालत में ये पाकिस्तान नहीं चाहता है कि यहाँ पे हालत ठीक रहे, और इसको हम कंडेम करते हैं। और हमारे दिलों में आज जो खराश हुआ है ये कभी पूरा नहीं होगा, और इनको भी बख्शा नहीं जाएगा, और इनका जवाब बिल्कुल इनको अच्छी तरीके से दिया जाएगा। और आज अभी गृह मंत्री अमित शाह जी भी यहाँ पे आ रहे हैं, और बीजेपी की जितने भी लीडरशिप है वो सब अभी आधे घंटे में पहुँच रहे हैं।
जहाँ पर ये अटैक हुआ, ये एक टूरिस्ट प्लेस है, यहाँ पर टूरिस्ट आता है ताकि लोकल लोगों की कमाई हो सके। कितना गलत है एक टूरिस्ट प्लेस को इस तरह हिट करना।
मैंने यही बता रहा हूँ मैं यही बात कि 5 साल से यहाँ पे हालत ठीक हो रही थी, बच्चे स्कूल जा रहे थे, टूरिज्म बढ़ रहा था, हर कोई विकास हो रहा था, लेकिन पाकिस्तान नहीं चाहता है कि यहाँ पे हालत ठीक रहे। वो यहाँ पे सिर्फ खून खराबा देखना चाहते हैं, जो 5 साल में देखने को नहीं मिल रहा था। इसलिए ये वो आज जो इन्होंने ये एक्ट किया है बहुत गलत एक्ट किया है। किसी हालत में इसको बर्दाश्त नहीं किया जाएगा, और हर हालत में इनको इसका जवाब मिलेगा, और यहाँ पे जीरो मिलिटेंसी रहेगी, ये हम प्रॉमिस करते हैं आपसे।
Vinny, these are the reactions which are coming from the ground zero, how locals are condemning this act, and so far 20 plus the injured figure has been reached, and these are the voices what we are getting from the ground. And this is the Pakistan sponsored terrorists which are continuously trying to disturb the peace situation in Jammu and Kashmir. We have seen disturbance in Jammu, and there were sometime normalcy in Kashmir, but again they are trying to target Kashmir, and the selective target killings which have witnessed we today.
All right, as per latest developments, most of the injured have been airlifted for the terror attack site in Pahalgam's Besaran Valley, is what we are learning. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Shankar has condemned the terror attack in Pahalgam. He has extended his condolences to the victims' family members and prayed for a speedy recovery of those who have been injured. Let me also rope in Janal Dwivedi into this conversation and get his reaction. Janal Dwivedi, it's impossible at this point in time to even imagine that such an attack is possible without local ground help. This is obviously a problem that the government has tried its level best to address, but it seems that it still needs a large amount of attention, sir, because innocent people, tourists who have gone there in summer holidays or to get away from the heat of North India, are getting killed for being Hindus in India.
Well, when you have rightly, I think, addressed the main key issues. But before I answer your question, my heartfelt condolences to those who have lost their lives and their bereaved families, and also prayers for those who have been injured for this speedy recovery. Well, Vineet, as I said, that you have touched a couple of very important issues. First and foremost, on your channel, and having done multiple tenures in Jammu and Kashmir, I have been reiterating that this is a Pakistan-sponsored proxy war since last over 3.5 decades. And It's not just a cross-border terrorism. And in proxy war, Pakistan chooses the time and place. And last 3 years, it has been Rajouri, Poonch, Kathua, and we have lost a fair number of, service people and also people on the armed forces. If you may recall, just about 3-4 days back, Pakistan Army Chief Asim Munir made a categorical statement when he was addressing Pakistan for nationals who live abroad that Kashmir is Pakistan jugular vein and they will take Kashmir at all cost. So where is the doubt that who is the person behind, who is sponsoring this proxy war? I like to make 2-3 important points. First and foremost, as you rightly said, Vineet, a lot of groundwork is need to be done. Yes, there has been improvement of situation in the valley, and I was myself there last year to see firsthand. But the point is, we cannot take the situation for granted. And the second point is until Pakistan is punished, that is Pakistan army and the Pakistani nation, that they will have to pay heavy price in case they don't stop the proxy war. This is going to go on because we cannot act event by event. We need to address this whole thing holistically. And my last and final point is such situations should not be politicized. It's a nation call. The nation is bereaved, and we need to take this beyond the politics and address the issue in entirety. And my final thing is we need to have a anti-proxy war policy. We need to have a doctrine in place and defeat this menace. And this defeat can be only orchestrated if Pakistan is punished and the root cause from where these terrorists are coming, that needs to be addressed beneath.
All right, well, a Shivamoga-based tourist has been killed in the Pahalgam terror attack, and the deceased has been identified as Manjunath Rao, a real estate businessman and a resident of Vijayanagar. Manjunath was on a vacation with his wife Pallavi and son Abhijay. The family had left Shivamoga for Kashmir on the 19th of April for a leisure trip. Local residents managed to rescue his wife Pallavi and their son. However, Manjunath was killed in the terror attack. Further details are awaited as authorities continue their investigation into the incident. Well, those are live visuals coming on your screen of the Home Minister leaving for Srinagar to take stock of this situation. Pathikrit Pine also with us. But before that, let's listen to this troubling first account of the terror attack. A woman is crying for help and explains how they were attacked. Listen in.
ये हमारे कल्चर पे, हमारी कश्मीरियत पे भी अटैक है, वो कश्मीरियत जो हमारे खून में, रग रग में हमारी है. तो इट्स एक्सट्रीमली अनफॉर्चुनेट और हम इस एक्ट को कंडेम करते हैं. एंड माई डीपेस्ट कंडोलेंसेस टू द फैमिलीज who've lost their loved ones today. बिल्कुल. और आप देखिए आज भी जब यहाँ जो बाइसरन में वाकया हुआ, शर्मनाक वाकया, यहाँ पे जो लोग अपना खून देने गए वो कश्मीरी लोग ही हैं. You have Kashmiri young men who are going to donate their blood. So it's extremely condemnable. और ऐसे लोग क्यों ये चीज़ें करते हैं, मतलब it's just क्या बोले इंसान. यहाँ 5 लोग आए, उनने अपनी जान गंवाई, वो यहाँ घूमने आए थे, कश्मीर देखने आए थे. उनको क्या पता था कि उनका आखिरी सफ़र होगा ज़िंदगी का.
ये जो आज 22 पहलगाम में हादसा पेश आया, आई स्ट्रांगली कंडम दिस अटैक. दिस इज़ ए कवर्डली एक्ट. ये टूरिस्ट पे, लोकल्स पे जो अटैक हुआ आज, ये दर्दनाक है. और मैं पहले ही तुरंत ऑनरेबल सीएम साहब के नोटिस में लाया. ही इज़ ऑन जॉब. ऑनरेबल सीएम साहब इज जॉब. डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन भी है, पुलिस भी है, लेकिन इनको अच्छे से.
All right, let me rope in Pathikrit Pine into this conversation as well. Pathikrit, unfortunate that this has happened again in Jammu and Kashmir. It's extremely disturbing. I'm flustered to see that people who had gone there to have a good time ended up losing their life as a result of these terrorists. You're muted, Pathikrit. Yeah, go on.
First and foremost, my heartfelt condolence for all those who have succumbed to the injuries. If you look at this location, it is just above Comarg, the Baisar region, and just at the foothills, you would have there are two major hotels. So these are locations where a lot of tourists are actually going. And the timing of this attack, if you see, at a time when the Vice President of United States is in India and Prime Minister Modi has gone to Saudi Arab, if you connect it with the speech, the most derogatory, disdainful, obnoxious speech given by the Pakistani Army General a few days back, if you connect it, then you can understand that they are deliberately trying to do this for two reasons. They don't want normalcy to return to Kashmir. There is an unprecedented number of record tourists who have gone to Kashmir this time, and it is actually helping in Kashmir revive its prosperity. And people are feeling very comfortable, people are feeling very safe, and that's why these hit and run terror attacks are deliberately being done. It is extremely unfortunate, and at the same time, please understand the kind of modus operandi that Pakistan is trying to do. Here you would see these offshoots, most probably of Lashkar, who are doing it, are trying to propagate a narrative that look, things are not normal in Kashmir. That is that objective they have. Even though things have changed fundamentally in Kashmir, major terror attacks do not happen. I am not trying to undermine the intensity of this terror attack because people have lost their lives, but because they can't do anything about Article 370 anymore, because they can't do anything in stopping integration of Kashmir or prosperity of Kashmir. These are the way, the most obnoxious way they first tried to target those people who are from other parts of India who were coming to Kashmir for work, including government employees, and now they are in the most cowardly manner attacking most helpless tourists. And their ultimate objective is what? If they attack 10 people or 15 people, their ultimate objective is to ensure that 15,000, 20,000 more tourists feel scared and they don't come. And this is where it is a battle that has to be won. I completely agree with those two people who said that they condemn what has happened, and they say that it is not part of Kashmiriyat, what has happened. But at the same time, I do agree that they do condemn the terrorism because it is impacting Kashmir's economy. There is no denial of that. But at the same time, they also need to condemn those operatives within Kashmir who are their conduits. That is equally important. They have to completely socially outcast, boycott those elements. Because even though these are being done from across the border, it is highly unlikely that there are no local conduits. It is highly unlikely that there are no local, linchpin helping them out. In the larger context, there is no denial that, it would not have any big impact so far as Kashmir's economy is concerned, so far as tourist going is there is concerned. But even if one life is lost, it means a lot, and that is why the alacrity with which Prime Minister Modi has responded to it, the alacrity with which the Home Minister is visiting Kashmir, it shows that the government is determined that they will not allow these incidents, these typical hit and run incidents, to completely, to derail the movement, the peace act movement that is being done. So I think the threats from the western side is not yet over. That has to be understood. And it is not that Pakistan is going to stop what they are doing. So our counter-terror response mechanism, what was there during Balakot airstrike, what Pakistan is doing is now is this. They know if they kill 40 people at one time, there will be massive response from India. So they try to do terror attacks by keeping the casualties below a certain threshold. And by that, the number of people who have died, if you see, it is quite significant one if you look at in 1 or 2 years. So the counter-terror response mechanism has to be activated again, in the sense that you need to hit them where it hurts the most. You need to ensure that they can't sleep, peacefully at night the way they were sleeping at Balakot. So I think whatever I had to say, the messaging, I think it's very clear.
Okay, let me also open Mr. Sikka as well. Let me open Mr. Sikka as well. Mr. Sikka, this obviously, does this warrant a change in strategy, sir, according to you?
It's very simple. What happened when Hamas attacked Israelis? They put their act together and finished Hamas. Almost finished. We need to be seen as acting. That's one part. We cannot trust our own enemies within. Arjun Khadge gave a statement, made a statement. We should not tolerate it. But they are the people who tolerated 26/11. They are the one who felicitated Yashin Malik, and they are the ones who are always the traitors and terrorists, and they speak for them. So you cannot tolerate them or tolerate be sure about them. You cannot be sure of the attack on Hindus on the east. Mamata Banerjee is championing that cause, and you have a Mulayam Yadav, the son, who's no less hobnobbing with all kinds of traitors and terrorists. We have this war outside, we have this war inside. If we are seen as acting the manner in which Israelis did, I've said this earlier, I'm saying this again. Each time a VVIP enters our country, there's some drama takes place, it's an SOP. This must be now taken to task to the logical conclusion. Now that President Trump and the Vice President on our side, like they were attack, and show to Munirs of the world and to the Congress in particular in India that this game plan is over, that they will not be tolerated. The problem is that we are tolerating. The problem is that that we are doing nothing. The problem is that they get away with blue murders. The problem is that we have people like these stooges who say hua to hua, Sam Petroda. So the problem is that we are quiet. We are saying that, oh, we are secular. This secular word is hurting us. We need to understand that तुम एक मारोगे तो हम चार मारेंगे. That must happen. That must be seen to be happening. And once you do that, they are very scared kind of people. Munir and his entire company, General Munir. See the number of medals they wear on their chest. They two dozen of them. They win these medals or earn it by playing Ludo. They have not won a single war. But they are enjoying the terror attacks once in a while because they control the government, they control the system. We need to put them in their place once and for all. And with this act, the recent act, where innocents have been killed, we have all the ammunition to go all out. We have all the reasons and arguments and logics to go all out. And this must happen now. As regards to inside traitors, it's not difficult. It will happen. We have enough wherewithal in finding out who were the internal Milli Bhagat, the sleeper cells. But that is not good enough. आप एक sleeper cell पकड़ोगे, there are 10 more and 15 more and God knows how many more. These they have been brainwashed, and how? We need to understand this one very finally and to the hilt. We need to attack.
You're absolutely right, sir. In fact, the President Draupadi Murmu has also condemned this dastardly attack on innocent citizens. She has made it abundantly clear that this attack is utterly appalling and unpardonable. She has extended her heartfelt condolences to the families who have lost their dear ones and is praying for a speedy recovery of the injured civilians. Well, the Anantnag police has announced a 24/7 emergency help desk for tourists to assist them with their requirements as well. You can dial the number 959 677 669. You can send a WhatsApp message to the following number 9419 051 940 as well to ascertain any information. Let's also listen into this troubling first-hand account of the terror attack. A woman is crying for help and explains how they were attacked. But before that, let me in fact just get in my colleague Ajay Chandyal into this conversation. Ajay, what is the latest at this point in time that you can share with us? The Home Minister, as we are showing on our screens as well, is hurriedly taking off for Srinagar to take stock of this unfortunate situation.
Yes, Home Minister has flown from Delhi to reach Srinagar, and definitely is going to share a high-level security review meeting and also meet the family members of the
family members of the tourists, those who have lost their life, or those who are injured, those who are victim of this terror attack, because our sources are saying that number of tourists, those who have killed, that number is very high, and that's why that is the situation which basically that has to be tackled, and definitely adequate steps has to be taken to ensure that terrorists, those who are responsible for this attack in Pahalgam, they has to be taken into task, they has to be neutralized as soon as possible. Sources are also saying that Home Ministry is also going to visit Pahalgam, the spot where this incident has taken. Basically, it's 7 kilometers from the main Pahalgam where this incident has taken place, when terrorists numbering 3 to 4, they reached the spot, they reached close to the tourists, those who were basically roaming in that area, and then inquire about their religion and open fire. And that is what exactly they have done, and definitely it's a horrible attack of terrorists and Pakistani sponsored terrorists, those who are basically trying to disturb peace over here in the Jammu and Kashmir.
All right, Ajay, we'll come back to you for more. Let me in fact open General Dwivedi into this conversation once again. General Dwivedi, the same question that I asked Mr. Sikka as well. Does this warrant a change in strategy?
Absolutely, Vineet. We need to change our strategy because we have not been able to defeat the proxy war. And the strategy has to be whole nation approach. Because it's not the internal security issue. It is a very, very complex issue which has the external dimension, which has international issues, and of course the internal dimension. So I feel that we need to change our strategy, and this strategy must be threefold. First and foremost, we need to synergize all the efforts of the nation and squeeze Pakistan militarily, economically, diplomatically, because until we are able to punish Pakistan severely, they are not going to stop. Second is the Pakistan army. I think this ceasefire is not holding on, or not in our interest, because when I was the brigade commander here, we that time also had some kind of ceasefire, but that are violated. And what's the point of ceasefire if the border is violated, repeated, and all the terrorists, LAT or Jaish-e-Mohammed, they all coming from inside Pakistan. So therefore, we need to have a holistic review of this strategy, which should encompass a very strong military response. I don't think this ceasefire needs to be further honored. This is not doing us any good. Second point is we need to squeeze Pakistan economically, diplomatically, and internally we need to fine-tune all our security forces, because it is not one security forces battle. It's a battle which has to be fought combined. And last point is, you see, we keep saying it is terrorism. No, it's a proxy war. It is being orchestrated from across the border. Terrorism is only a tool. And this instance is basically to cause fear of psychosis. And that's what terrorism is all about. Because once you create an instance of this kind, then it has a cascading effect. And that cascading effect will definitely, affect the normalcy that is there. So I think we need to change our strategy holistically. We need to have a very clear-cut policy against proxy war. And lastly, I would say, we let the politics be out of it, because this is not the time to pick at each other. It's the time that nation must resolve to defeat the proxy war. And this can be only done when we are together, both punishing Pakistan across the border, ensuring that line of control is dominated, and wherever we feel there are terrorists coming, those posts must be destroyed. And lastly, yes, internally there are some elements, because until you have internal support, the terrorists can't survive. So therefore, we need to plug in and also ensure that these sleeper cells, they are taken out, and only then we can win the battle. My last word is, yes, we need to change the strategy. We need to come very hard, and we need to tell Pakistan that we will finish the proxy war no matter what our resources are required for this.
News coming in, Omar Abdullah has left his residence for Pahalgam, and also we are learning at this point in time that the NIA is going to probe the Pahalgam terror attack. The team is going to reach Pahalgam tomorrow, is what we are learning at this point in time. Pathikrit is with us on the program. Still, Pathikrit, the Home Minister, of course, understands the urgency. He's already en route to Srinagar. What does this mean for the government in terms of the policy so far that has been applied when it comes to these terror attacks in Jammu and Kashmir?
Well, Vineet, if you compare how the situation was 10 years back compared to that, a substantial amount of work definitely has been done by government to normalize the situation. But as I stated, that Pakistan is, invariably trying to change its tactics of terror attacks. So they are trying to keep terror attacks below the threshold. In certain area, certain respect, I think even for the armed forces, the SOPs may have to alter a bit. At the same time, when it comes to the government, if you look at what the Home Ministry has done in terms of completely decimating the Maoist terrorists in India, I have absolute faith in the leadership that they will do what is necessary. But yes, it is a reality that you have to raise the bar or the threshold of your counter-terror response mechanism, and the consequence, the bar of consequence have to be raised. Somewhere there is a catch-22 situation for India, because if you look at the situation of Pakistan today, where there is tremendous amount of provincial violence, sectarian violence, the country is on the cusp of being dismantled or splitting. There, probably the deep state of Pakistan also is looking desperately for some kind of a massive kinetic response from India, so that it helps them to galvanize the country, and the Pakistan army then can tell everyone that, look, it's time to get united because we have a common threat from India. That is one issue. I think somewhere it is probably stopping India, because we want Pakistan to get dismantled in its normal course. But I think there is also another school of thought which is invariably, it has a very, very logical viewpoint in terms of saying that it is high time, enough is enough. That is important. If you, and Harinderji gave the right example of, Israel and Hamas. And if you look at the speech of Asim Munir, where the Chief of Army Staff giving a speech to overseas Pakistani delegation and spewing hatred against Hindus, and then these terrorists coming out in Kashmir and asking people about their religion, asking whether they are Hindus, and deliberately shooting. So you can see the connect. And that is why I think it cannot be considered as a local issue. It is not a law and order issue. It is not a mere local terrorist issue, though it is of a far lesser intensity than compared to what it used to happen in the past. But still, too many such incidents are happening now, and therefore the response, the treatment has to be perhaps across the border. How the government will do it, when they will do it, that is up to the policy makers and the decision makers to decide. But yes, this is not something that J&K police can stop, because the money, the inspiration is coming from that side. And we also need to introspect about the radicalization architecture that is there within the country. Who is radicalizing people to convert into either an extremist or a terrorist? That radicalization, where it is happening, it is true some major actions have been taken in J&K in terms of banning certain groups like Jamaat-e-Islami, but whether it is enough or not, that has to be seen. Whether more has to be done,
Pathikrit,
that has to be
I'm going to have to cut you there. We are in fact going to keep a close eye on what's happening here. My colleague Ajay is also joining us to give us the latest updates. Ajay, what do we know about the number of people who have lost their life in this terrible, horrible attack on civilians, tourists for that matter? Ajay?
Yes, please repeat your question.
Ajay, can you tell us the number of people who have lost their lives? We are getting different accounts from different sources at this point in time. What are your sources telling you?
See, Vineet, number of casualties which has taken place in this terror attack is, high in double digit, and we are waiting for the official confirmation, as this is a very, horrible time as this incident has taken place. Home Minister himself is traveling to Kashmir, and he is going to reach soon. So we are waiting for the official figure that how many people have died, because till now officially there is no confirmation that how many people have killed, but definitely this is a very painful.
Ajay, we'll keep coming back to you for more information. Right now we're dipping into a very short break. Our coverage and our minute by minute account of what's coming out of Pahalgam is going to continue after this very short break.